Now, if they're doing Pyro, I'd be, okay to give that up. But if they're going for a big Fire Giant, we have to do something about it. So I'm gonna 1v1 their mid laner over here. This feels pretty good for me. They're a little bit late to turn on me, but I end up focusing in on that kill and getting it. I blink out, which is alright. I think it was good for me to use the blink because it spreads out their line a little bit. Hello, my name is Masternjs, and here we're going to review some of those Conquest games I had. My immediate feelings after playing this game was a little bit of Ghost. I'm not too freshened up on it, but I felt like I didn't do quite too much. I recently just reviewed this footage before this one, watched it through once, and I think I was a little bit more impactful than I originally thought, right after the game. The mental state will have a good amount to do with how you're, feeling and playing and the decisions you're going to make. Whether you feel like you're getting pressed out really hard, you might lose a little bit of confidence, right? Or if you're kind of steamrolling them, you might not see the finer nuanced points of things, right? Because you're just pushing ahead, you feel good, you've got the momentum. And sometimes when you have that mental game, that mental roll going, you're going to, games are going to go a lot easier for you. For me, this is an example kind of the former case, where things weren't feeling too great, and my perception of the game right after wasn't so great, but in reviewing it, it wasn't so terrible after all. For the picks and bans, I really do prefer to play Hercules. This is definitely like the strongest pick right now. So it feels pretty comfortable to be on Hercules. I was kind of stressing out. I didn't know what to pick here. None of my picks felt too good. So I just went for the Nemesis. Have not had too much experience with her on Smite 2. For the most part, she remains basically unchanged. I think with Stampede being in the game, that's a physical defense item, and it's an active item. And the active on that one gives you a lot of movement speed and makes you immune to slows and stuff like that. Kind of hinders Nemesis's game plan, where she likes to slow you, kind of keep you in that auto attack range, and just demolish you pretty bad. Another mistake I think I made too, Nemesis isn't the worst pick, obviously, right? But the aspect I think is a little bit of bait. Might be okay in duel. You save it until you're in a position where there's an imbalance in the HPs, right? So you're down, and then the aspect allows you to average your HP with the enemy, depending on the level that you have your ultimate at, right? So if you're level 5, I don't think it's going to be too much of an average, but towards the end it becomes pretty good. You can swing the HP a lot there, right? Which sounds really good. I definitely fell for it, because, why wouldn't I want to completely average out our HPs? The thing with that is, though, you're putting yourself in a position where it's good. The only time it's good is when you're already down, right? So you've made your ultimate into something that's going to catch you up. When most of the time you actually want to use your ultimate when you're ahead at the start of a fight, dump your whole kit on them, and you use it very proactively like that. It's going to give you a lot more value, I think, than holding it. When your HP is low. I just don't think that's the best game plan when you're playing Nemesis.
Yes.
For items here, I believe I'm actually looking at Weaken's website where he's got all the builds and stuff, because I'm not quite sure to build. Generally, I would probably be going like a Jotun's, a Hydra's, Berserker Shield, and some critical chance items. The Demon Blade, the Deathbringer, that kind of stuff. That's why I traditionally like to play Nemesis. But this time I kind of went with the build I saw on there. I believe it had like triple defense. So it had a Berserker Shield, a Void Shield, and a Magi's Cloak. Triple defense probably is actually a good play. That's not the way I prefer to play jungle. I like to be kind of glass cannon, get in there, one shot them real quick, and that's kind of how it goes. Globe's out here with his mic pretty much down his throat. That's all right though. Keep the mental game strong. Don't worry about it. It's kind of funny in the moment. If you're starting to lose though, that it's definitely not going to be very funny at that point. So here we are. I wanted to start at the blue, but Achilles said no. My mic is also muted on this one, and I did not know that. So I'm trying to be in comms here, but my mic's actually muted the whole time, which is kind of funny in retrospect. Starting this side of the map isn't my favorite. It's how I used to play all the time, but I really do prefer starting on the blue side. You can run right to that neutral camp after you get both of the buff camps, and that feels pretty good. I'm thinking right here I actually should have ran and met up with Anubis on that Cyclops camp, but instead I went this way. I don't know. We don't share farm, so it's kind of nice for each of us individually, but his clear time's pretty slow. He doesn't have his abilities up most likely right here. And then we're late to this, right? So they pull it out. He kind of cheeses it by pushing that buff out. But I'm looking aggressive because I'm an aggressive player. Kind of works out for me. He Aegises. And then my mid's going to blink on him, right? I didn't think it was going to do that. It's kind of over. It's not like he has a wrap or anything. So it was just going to 1 out, right? And then it's over. And he's got to walk a very long way back to mid while Neath is going to be clearing that wave the entire time. Going to mid or going to the red is just kind of like a loss for us. We just lost a bunch of time. So I heard Hercules on that left back, and I'm actually going to go and steal his buff. I pressured him out of his Aegis, so I feel pretty good here going for this. And actually, in retrospect, I should have been even more aggressive here. I'm not taking that back camp because I'm a little bit scared of him. So instead, I go to the Cyclops camp, grab another ward, and I placed a ward down there because I wanted to be sure I knew if he was following me. And I see him right there with half HP, so what I should have done is lurked on his back camp, waited for him to cast, and I might have been able to get a really nice first blood on his back one there. That would have given me a mental advantage, and I probably would have been able to kind of steamroll that or snowball it down, you know? When you get that mental edge early, a lot of the times it'll kind of follow you into the later game. And I probably could fight him here, but I'm just going to farm and run away. Admittedly pretty passive play, but that's alright.
Wish death upon me. Careful. But am I when I can't see? I'm just trying to be who I'm destined to be. Wanna take my life away. Many men. Many men. Wish death on me. But I don't cry no more. Don't look to the sky.
I hope you guys enjoyed that singing as much as I did for, you know, the 5 seconds before I muted it. Didn't want to gank and duo there. I don't think much would have come out of it. Probably just get frozen by the Emir and the Wooler jumps away, right? So didn't waste my time, just reset. And I'm looking at this blue over here. I don't have an ultimate, and the solo laners are... Yeah, the Sobek has an ult, the Achilles does not. So ganking here isn't going to be too productive, right? I think I called out that I'm going for the blue. Obviously, he can't hear me. Now I see the HPs are low. I'm going to come and help him. He gets it anyways, so now I can just look at this. Of course, Autospeed's going to be here to kind of contest this out. I don't want to give it up without a fight. I'm going to try for it at least. A little bit off of the auto attack cancel there. I kind of want to stick up in this jungle, poking him out a little bit to get ahead, but and I do have the health pot, right? So things are looking okay, but my mid is, you know, taking my back camp right now instead of running to his wave, which is a little bit frustrating. I'm here, and then I hear the Neath cast, so this is completely over, right? I'm just going to take his mid wave. Left neutral is up. Probably better to go for that. But me and my mid laner are not having good synergy here. Now he's following me to my speed, which is going to irritate me a little bit, honestly. In fact, I'm going to try and wait so I can solo farm this. Didn't wait long enough. I still end up splitting it and just waste more of my time. And then he gets kind of wrecked in the mid there. I don't know if he got ganked. I really doubt it. Didn't see any assist on that. So I don't know if he just walked up carelessly or what's up. But I can't control what my teammates do, right? So I'm just going to focus on my own play. Yeah, I can see this guy's a pretty hungry, farm-hungry guy, which is a good thing for sure. So, you know, I'm not going to risk tilting him even more by taking that wave. Even though I wanted to, that would have been nice if I was just going to be playing for myself. In these higher level ranked games, I don't feel too comfortable doing that. If I'm in a game where I'm just stomping, right, and I'm way better than everybody else, I'm just going to play for myself and take everything, right? But in a game like this, I'm definitely going to need the support of my teammates. I can't do it all alone. And sometimes I make the mistake of giving my teammates a little bit too much faith, and, you know, I should have played it for myself some of the time. We'll see a couple of examples in this game of that. Let's see. Here I have my ult. If I didn't have the aspect, I would probably initiate my ult here, which would actually make this a lot cleaner. Instead, I look for the 2, kind of take a couple tower shots, use my shield well there, and Achilles hits the ultimate, which is nice, and he gets out with 1 HP, and it's a little bit crazy. I probably should have tanked that tower longer for him, Thing is, though, is you're just very squishy when you're playing Nemesis. I use the shield pretty well there to stop those tower shots, but you know, your time to kill, or time to be killed, I suppose, or both ways, your time to kill and your time to be killed on Nemesis are very low, so you just gotta be a little careful about where you're standing. Especially I'm the type of player who plays a lot of duel, plays a lot of solo lane, and likes to build defense in the jungle, so I kind of like to post up and stand in front. But, you know, when you're playing a glass cannon type, which I prefer on assassins like this, yeah, you gotta be a little bit mindful. Here, I think Soul can solo it, so I was gonna give it to her. Calls for the help, though. And then you'll see later he says he missed his 2, so that's why he needed the help. I think giving your ADC the solo farm is pretty nice. You need to be cognizant of how much jungle farm you're leaving up for your laners when you're jungling. Kind of love you or hate you for it. They're looking for some stuff in mid. I feel like I'm a little bit far away in the supports there, so I'm just gonna let them do their thing. They get the kill, so I figure they're just gonna get out, and I've already dedicated a lot of damage to this. So I'm gonna stick up on it. Just saying hi like you want to do something maybe. I'm okay. I'm just farming.
Your right tower is under attack. Your left
Maybe we could have got a little bit more active there, but I can see Ymir and a Hercules. I just don't see myself doing too much. And maybe that's a misplay, right? Maybe I could really just be running this game, but instead I'm playing too passively and farming.
Your right tower is under attack.
You know, and that's something to think about. Now that I see a squishy target, I'm happy to go in. A little bit late on the 2. That was not great. The wall comes out. Not that that did anything.
Be careful, right. Enemy missing.
And my ADC's kind of getting soloed out over there, but that's fine. No need to ping him or say anything, really. He knows better than me how bad that is for him. Maybe I should be a little looking to help him, you know, kind of get out of that. Uller, though, is just going to kind of axe me and jump away, so I have Blink and ult. Maybe we can make something work here soon. I just kind of got it in the back of my mind that Uller's a little strong, my soul's a little bit weaker.
An ally has been slain.
I'm going to ping out the guy I marked with the Eye of the Jungle. He doesn't know I'm in these bushes here, so I'm going to chill. A lot of times it's kind of better to go second. He misses that, which is unfortunate, so not too much is going to come with this for me. Now watch my HP here. The Hercules auto is going to chunk me. So I know how quickly I can die. I'm not even going to risk it. I probably could have thrown down the ult and tried something. You know, if I end up being dead, I'm going to miss out on a lot of farm. So I'm just going to kind of back up and play a little bit passive.
Your middle tower.
We are up on gold, but you know, you can easily throw that by, you know, not playing too good in jungle. Another way to throw it, you know, so me getting killed is one. The other way for me to kill it, or, you know, throw my lead, is to play too passive and not really get engaged in things and let the game kind of happen in front of me while I'm in my jungle farming. And things can get away from you that way as well. I haven't said anything about the gold Furies, honestly. That second one, I didn't really realize it was happening, to be honest with you, in the moment, or kind of in watching it back. Obviously, when you see people missing for that long, you gotta assume they're doing something if they're good, right? So I could have had a little bit more of a heads-up play there. I kind of confused the HP bars there between the mini and the big one, so I secured at a bad time. All credit to all this CC, but I'm going to play a little aggressive because I put my ult down.
An enemy has been
And that worked out okay. So you kind of feel when you're missing any form of CC, it's just a little bit rough. These guys tend to just walk away from you. Especially too, right? Ymir had that the communal beads item. You know, they all shared those beads right there, and he got out. And then he used his Aegis, right? So he kind of used a lot of resources to get away from me right there. I believe that is the first time I've really used my ultimate this game, which is definitely a misplay. The cooldown may be over a minute, but at the end of the day, it's not really that long. You know, the breaks between you doing something, backing, going back, farming on your way out, you know, your ultimate's more or less going to be back up by that time. And if you look at the cooldown right now, right, from me, us disengaging to that fight, and by the time I'm done with my farm, my ult's going to be back up. So you might as well just throw it out. Holding it, you know, with the fallacy, the sunken cost, that I'm going to, you know, get a bunch of HP back from it. So if I use it too early, I'm going to be missing out on that. I guess that's a fear of missing out, right? It's just not a great mindset.
Your left tower is under attack.
Alright, so here my ADC is pinging out that he is on that gold buff, which I feel really good ganking on that, right? I see him use his jumps, this guy's toast, I don't even need a ult. Pull off a nice auto attack cancel for 3, and that guy got melted. My ADC did a really good job positioning there, so all I had to do was just pull up and, you know, mechanically play the game. Not much more was required of me there. When I'm warding, I like to ward the enemy buffs. I feel like that gives you the most insight rather than, you know, warding the corridor close to a lane. Ideally, my ward is going to let me know what's up before they do it, right? So I see them on their buff, and I can see where they're walking away from the ward. I'm going to have a good idea where they're showing up. If I have it in the corridor, a lot of the time, you know, if you're playing way too far up, by the time you notice them on the ward, it's kind of too late. Like, they would have already casted an ability on you at that time. This one's a little bit awkward. Me and my mid laner are not spacing super well. It's kind of he goes in, I go in, and we're not sticking with each other. It's alright, try to sidestep it, but it's a little too wide. I know she's going to backflip, so I just keep running to where she's going to land. The ult lands pretty decently, but it's not going to work out for me.
Enemy ultimate down.
Again, a little bit out of sync with my mid laner. I kind of full committed there. And he was, you know, he was bent on resetting. Which is kind of obvious, right? We're both there trying to back, and we got interrupted.
Okay.
Defend left lane. On my way.
Here, I think they're going into the left jungle for some reason. And I'm pretty convinced that they're going to set up to do something on this guy's blue. In reality, though, looking at the mini-map, Gold Fury's up, right? So I didn't see them go right or left into the jungle as far as I can recall right now. So I should actually be assuming that they're looking for a Gold Fury play. If they end up setting up for that blue, I should be calling the Gold Fury and we can get strong on that side of the map, right? Here I'm just trying to get a little bit of retribution for my friends. Of course that's pretty ill-advised. I end up just having to blink out because I don't want to die. Poked out again, that 2 is pretty long range. Now my soul is really dedicating. I'm kind of not on the same page here, right? I was trying to walk out, now she's in, and all 3 weaves end up turning a massive burst of damage on her backflip. I see Achilles popping around, but it's just not really going to work out. I'm too low HP. And again, maybe I have the ult to kind of average out those HPs, but I don't know.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Here, I kind of wanted to just farm my buff right there, but instead I'm going to pull up. I decided to use the ult there for some reason instead of, you know, all the other opportunities I had. But that's alright, at least we're, you know, in the ult now. And I'm going to dash back to my farm. Looks like my mid is getting a little too aggressive there. I don't know if he knew I left or not. But it's 2v1, and one of those characters has a lot of CC. Looks like he gets it though, so good for him.
Tower is under attack. Your right tower has been destroyed.
Here I'm trying to slide past him, see if I can kind of juke out the 1, but he caught me.
Your middle tower is under attack. An ally has been slain.
Also, I should have probably bought anti-heal earlier in the game instead of going for that Wind Demon. I think Brawlers would have been a better pickup. That Herc 3 is going to start becoming very problematic for me.
On my way.
Here is calling out the Gold Fury, so I'm going to do my part to help him defend this one. Looks like my mid laner is not quite on the same page, though. I think it's going to be left on that. Now, if our mid laner came over, he would be there right about now, which would have been pretty helpful. He could have thrown out an ult and secured that Gold Fury. But, you know, you can't control what others do. I really didn't full commit on that Herc. It didn't quite work out. I did get his HP pretty low, but it's just tough with that many enemies that close by. Now, to our mid, still just farming my jungle to the left, and we're getting ran down like dogs right now, so... Not the best for us, losing the Gold Fury and all that, but here we are. And at this point, I'm really starting to get quite far behind in farm. I'm kind of getting in my head that I want to come and help my teammates, and then nothing really happens, and I'm wasting a lot of time. So it's a bit awkward. Not the cleanest jungle game for me. I have even more farm down, right? So I'm looking at the levels. I've been pressing tab pretty often this game, which is very important. You need to see what your enemies are building. If a guy's kind of smacking you out, you know, it's a good idea to take a look at his build and see maybe you can copy one of those good items in his build that same game. Or maybe it'll give you an idea for the future on a different build route you can be taking. Instead of walking down mid, I kind of wanted to make a flank here, but as I come around, putting down a ward, it's not so safe. These guys are actually just running it at us. Maybe I kind of trolled by going around, but there's 4 guys in mid as well, right? So I don't know if my mid laner feels too good about that. They're going to be on this objective. We could have the opportunity to defend, but his resetting. Maybe he has a good item, but now our solo laner is going to get ran down as well.
Shut down.
Now, if they're doing pyro, I'd be, you know, okay to give that up. But if they're going for a big fire giant, we have to do something about it. So I'm going to 1v1 their mid laner over here. This feels pretty good for me. They're a little bit late to turn on me, but I end up focusing in on that kill and getting it. I blink out, which is alright. I think it was good for me to use the blink because it spreads out their line a little bit. If I blink and they let me run, then that's great, I survive. If they dedicate 1 or 2 to chase me, then I've split their line and my teammates are going to do a little better there. Now Uller survives 1 HP, but I feel alright because at least I traded myself for 1. Not so great overall for the team as they're kind of opening mid up a little bit. We're all dead. So when I was playing this game, I remember thinking too, honestly, I felt like my mid and support were pretty useless, but I'm watching it back, my sub's actually doing quite a lot. And the mid and I were just not on the same page, but it definitely looks like he's doing his part when it comes to damage. Now, I really wanted to farm my speed there, but instead I feel a little bit of duty coming to the team. This is a case where I definitely should have just played for myself, because they got themselves into this one, right? Now, it looks like they got a ward or something the way he comes around there. Now, I'm getting ready to juke, but my timing was a little bit off. I'm looking around for that need, because that's what I'm really scared of. The Sobek doesn't bother me too much. Here I look, and it's getting bad, but I'm going to ult and try and go all in on this need. Unfortunately, I was just 1 auto short there. And I threw out the Naga so they could die with me. Looks like Anubis is getting in the fight over there in our jungle. I guess it did not go well for him. It's quite surprising that we're actually equal with these guys in gold and we're 10 kills behind.
The enemy team has destroyed the Gold Fury.
Now that's their third Gold Fury. The Gold Fury gives pretty important buffs for the entire team, actually. You can kind of see underneath the kill counters on the top, they have 3 of those golden coins, I guess you could say, where we have 1, and that denotes each Gold Fury that's been killed for each team. The first buff, I believe, doubles your movement speed out of base. I'm actually not 100% sure on what all of them do. I believe the second one allows the minions to get stronger when you're near them, so you kind of have like a rallying aura, you could say. The third buff is the most significant though, because it gives you defense stats when you're near a structure. I'm not sure whether it's different between the allied and the enemy structure, but you get big siege bonuses basically, whether you're in enemy territory or friendly territory. Now I feel pretty salty about that one, so you're going to see me say, good game. Looks like Evil Cole 2 over here is going to put in some good work. Hercules falls as well. Me too, Hercules healed for so much during that fight that anti-heal would have made a pretty big difference for us all. It looks like this one's going to work out pretty good. Uber's behind him left jungle, is trying to make a play. Thankfully he misses because our mid was not aware of that. Looks like the major force of our team is going to open up mid, which is definitely the play. Chasing down this Uber isn't going to be the best play, because if he decides he doesn't really want to fight, he's just going to get away. Looks like he tried to turn though, and they get the better of it. And Thor was ready to ult as well.
Middle enemy tower.
Dude, that Uber had a monster early game, which I think is kind of getting in the way of his late game strategy here, where he was able to, you know, basically destroy anybody 1v1, 2v1 early game. Now that it's later game and he can, his time to kill is increased, especially with the pen reductions, and these guys are tanky, and they have numbers on him, right? It's not a very well-advised fight for him. These guys are getting kind of funny on the VGS. And they found another kill on the Ymir there, which looks nice. I have no problem picking up that purple buff, because I know my soul is going to get those 2 purple buffs that are up on the map. And it's important that my ADC gets that buff, so I'm okay taking one. And I actually catch up with a good amount of farm here. This definitely made my heart happy in the moment, because it's been a drought for me. I'm finally going to kind of catch up and get closer to that level 20, which everybody seems to be a bit ahead of me on. So I'm really rushing to get this Void Shield online, because I know it's going to make it feel a lot nicer. I kind of feel like I'm blown up this game, and I can't position as aggressively as I want to. I've got to kind of be in there and out of there, because look, they're kind of all collapsing on me when I come in, which is obviously a correct play, right? And Assassin dives deep into your backline, you should collapse and just burst them down really quickly before they do too much damage. But now we're actually way up on gold as a team coming into this late game. For me, it's not feeling the best. I'm not having a crazy stat line or having the most impact in any of these fights. Or got caught a little bit out there, but is able to pull down.
Falling back. Defend.
This will aid me. Your end is sealed.
An ally has been slain.
On guard.
Attack the gold.
Cannot escape me.
Here we have to be careful because it's a 4v5 and we do not have much vision. Now that we see them on the Thor there, we probably should get off of this. Looks like my mid's a little bit smarter for that idea than I am. And I'm making a pretty grievous error here holding the gold period this whole time. It would have regen basically full HP if I didn't do that. I'm ready just to full retreat on this. There's nothing I'm going to be able to do really. Against all 5 of them, the time to kill in Smite 2 isn't quick enough, or at least where I'm at right now in this game. I'm not going to be able to assassinate one of them before they're going to turn on me and just CC me to death, right? So I'm just going to chill out. Looks like Globe wanted to do something, and it's saying gank, but gank what? Like, there are 2 front laners that are up there, frontliners, and then I'm going to get, you know, flanked out by the rest of these guys. So I'm going to jump in on the squishy target. I put down the bomb because I'm kind of freaking out. My HP's getting low, and not enough time to get the 2 off.
Shut down.
It's alright though, the soul picks it up pretty well. We do a lot of damage to all of them. The Stampede is a little bit broken, honestly. If she hit one more auto attack, he would have died, or if I did a little bit of damage there, he would have died as well. Looks like Evil Cole is on this one. Does the ult as fast as possible. It's a pretty nice play. Again, looking at the items often is pretty important. Thinking about the anti-heal here, looking at those builds. You know Herc is going to be healing off his kit always, right? So that's going to be a pretty must-have item when you're playing against Herc. Sobek's healing in his kit as well. It's actually pretty significant. I see that Ymir is going to be healing out of his build with the Phoenix Feather. So that's another, you know, I have 3 reasons to build anti-heal there. Really, you'll need 1, right? If the enemy jungler is kind of your mark, that's the way I see it. When I'm playing jungle, I kind of want to shut down the other jungler. That's my focus, right? If they are healing like crazy, you know, Thanatos or Hercules, or they build a lifesteal item on whatever character, you know, you should be looking at the anti-heal. You should at least be considering that one. Alright, looks like it's going to be kind of a late game fire giant fight here. I got my ward out. Probably should have a couple more wards as a team here to make this safer for us. A little bit awkward for me to position. I can't just initiate. So I decided I'm going to go on some crazy flank. Depends who I see here though, right? If it's Uller or Neath, I might be able to do it. But he just hits me straight up with that axe. So I should run back to my territory. Their Sobek kind of cuts me off, and this is looking bad. I was not able to accomplish much on that flank. The timing didn't work out with my team too well, so it's like I spread their line out to a point where we benefited from it. You can see Hercules just healing for so much HP. Now that Jade Scepter play is crazy. It's the free knockup. They can't even do anything when you're knocked out. You can't even immune it with beads, right? You gotta do it ahead of time. You have no idea when that Jade Scepter is gonna come out, so that was a very nice play. Good juke there as well. I was thinking to myself I would have just hit behind the Fire Giant, but that was a good move there to sidestep the one, and Hercules misses his ult. So our soul is doing quite well here. My team is able to turn that. That's pretty good. Doesn't really result in any objective pressure for us, though. I could run straight back there, but I mean, it looks like they're kind of spreading out. We don't have good wards in their left jungle. We kind of have some at the mid junctures there, but not anything on their buffs or kind of the path jungle on the left side. So it could end up being a little bit risky. Instead, though, we're going to take an objective on the other side of the map. We got Winions in right that ended up taking the Phoenix for us. I think that's going to be basically a result of us controlling the Warhorn a little bit better in the late game. Those minions kind of added up. His build is starting to feel pretty nice. Felt pretty good early game when I was a bit ahead. Towards the mid to late game, I fell far behind. Now I'm kind of rounding it out.
This will serve me well.
I think the Titan's Bane is the better play in this time, in this situation, than the Deathbringer would be. Though if you're building crit, Deathbringer usually feels really nice. Definitely punish the Hercules there for phase 10. I dropped my ult and a little bit of my kit and then got peeled off. So I'm going to play a little bit more passively in this fight, see if I can play more of a decoy role. Ymir wall stopped my shield right there. Here I can kind of move in, draw a couple abilities out, move out, because I've got a little bit better mobility than some of my teammates right now. Here I'm kind of looking at that squishy in the back. I get caught kind of standing in the front line for a little bit too long. That's alright, my teammates are going to take good advantage of that. That Jade Scepter again is just dirty, that CC chain, you know, you can't do anything against that. Nice, and my team's able to finish it off there. What was kind of important too is that right Phoenix fell earlier. That makes the Titan a lot less tanky. The Hercules timer is coming down, so if they're able to stall it out a little bit longer, potentially that can get turned around pretty bad. Nice SR gain for me. Usually if I'm winning a ranked game, I'm getting 70 to 85. And then if I lose a ranked game, I usually lose around 50 or 40 or 50. So pretty nice gains where I'm at on the ranked ladder right now. Taking a look at these post game, right now I'm definitely feeling like I didn't contribute too much to the victory, but kind of in the review I did a lot better than I thought I did. You know, if we look at damage to damage against this Hercules, it's not too far off, especially for where we had to position. He could definitely stand in the middle of the action where I had to be a little bit more, you know, in and out kind of deal. And I was definitely leaning on the side of just chilling on the outside more than not. But it worked out, right? So it's not too bad. Again, mindset is one of the biggest things here in this game. And, you know, winner's mindset is, for me, is having, you know, the indomitable spirit. If things are going bad or whatever, you're not going to tilt and give up on the game. You still feel strong and you feel like you should keep, you know, pressing forward on that. Oh, nice. Free 20 diamonds. Let's go. That's huge. I think I'm going to look here at the ranked ladder. Check out where the guys I'm playing against are at on the ranked ladder, too. Pretty sure Autospeed is like top 10. So really, I should be gaining like 100 to 200 SR for these wins, but that's all right. It's not like the rank matters too much right now. Let's see. That's pretty good. Almost Diamond 1 there. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's top 10. So, you know, his SR is basically double my SR. So you'd think I would be getting better gains on this, but, you know, it is what it is. I kind of got carried by the team, admittedly, so we'll take the win in the first place. But there we go. That was a good Nemesis game. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Hopefully, too, that's another good example of auto attack cancels. The 3 is a very nice auto attack canceler enabler. So check it out, watch it back, and peace.